Hi, and so once again, the technology gods have decided to play their cruel jokes on me and interrupted our transmission from last time. So I guess this will be done in several parts. Hopefully, part two is the last part. But if we do get interrupted again, I will do my best to finish what I have started. So even if it takes several parts. Eventually, we will get there. Um, all um, permitting. Now, I did have my internet went down, so I had to didn't even realize the transmission was ended, and I just kept talking. So I'm hoping I will pick up where I left off. And as far as I understand or remember, we were talking about clarity versus confusion, and I was giving you an example of asking about your health, how the health will, affect your job, and how the job will affect your relationship. So I think we got to the relationship part. And the thing is, obviously, yes, um, having poor health will affect your performance at work, and of course, you may end up not having a job, and then not having a job is very stressful in relationships, so obviously your relationship will suffer as well. But my point is, why worry about this right now? We live too much in the past and in the future, and we are not present in the moment at all. And this is why most of the confusion comes up. All the events from the past and from the future, whether they will come or not, have been already mixed together and affecting our performance in the moment. And obviously, if in the moment you base all your actions on what you feel will happen in the future, then you are automatically leading yourself to that future. So clarity is important in terms of what is right now in this moment the best option for me. Whether it's going to affect all other areas of your life right now is not important. Yes, it will affect it, but how it's going to affect it is up to you right now. So if you want to do something in the future that will be beneficial for you, then right now focus and clarify in this moment what it is you're doing. And what you're doing is you're doing the best that you can in any given moment, and you should be okay with that. And you should also trust and believe that what you do is fulfilling your divine purpose, no matter what it is that you're doing. Every moment of our life, we're doing exactly what we need to do. We're fulfilling our purpose. Um, where that purpose will lead us will show with time, and wherever it will end up, it will still end up where we are meant to be, regardless of the outcome. Which leads us to the next question, not question, but next point that needed to be identified, and that is want versus need. What we want for ourselves is not always what we need. Most of the time, it's not. We confuse the two. We think that what we want is what we need. But often, what needs to be done is very opposite of what we want, what we desire. Because what we may be desiring is more of the things that are completely counterproductive for us. They, and may actually be damaging to us. So if I am in a bad relationship and I want my partner to stay, but what really needs to happen is that I need to learn my lesson and let go of that partner so I can grow and maybe meet down the line at some point a person who's really good for me, what I want and what I need conflict with each other. I want to hold on to this person because I think I'm in love. I think this is the only person for me. There may be fear that gets in the way. What if I never will find anyone else? What if somebody will never love me the way I'm supposed to be loved? But you're not loved right now the way you're supposed to be loved anyways, right? Because if you're holding on to someone when the relationship is not working out, that means the love is not the right love for you. It's not that you are a bad person or they're the bad person. It's simply that the both of you have reached a point in your relationship, in your life, and in your journey here where you have contributed to each other's growth. You have helped each other with discovering some sort of a lesson that you wanted to learn. And now you're beyond the point where either one of you can take anything more out of that lesson. And so when we are holding ourselves in that place, rather than when we are resisting moving on and just want to stay out of fear, then we are holding each other in pain. And of course, then the relationship cannot grow anywhere to any better place from that. It can only grow backwards, right? It can only get more and more frustrating. And when we resist moving to what we need to do, when we are stuck and we resist moving on and fulfilling our commitment to the journey that we have chosen, this time around, then the universe steps in and creates some sort of crisis to to get us unhinged from where we are stuck and thrown into where we need to go. So we have always a choice. We can recognize that this is going nowhere and we need to maybe release what no longer serves us and move on. And so we take that power into our own hands by doing that, and we are in control of the choice that we make, and that empowers us. Or we can resist. I'm sorry, Mr. Magic wants to help. We can resist um, moving on, and we can hold on for our dear life, and then universe will come in and do it for us. But it will not do it for us in a nice way, and we will feel like a victim when it's happening. Later in life, we can look at it and say, thank God it happened, because I would have still been stuck. But in that moment, it'll be devastating. It'll be in some sort of crisis that will be very painful for us, but it will be what we need. We will not want that, but it will be what we need. So this is the three things that we need to recognize. In order for us to take power into our hands and continue walking and growing on our journey and on our path here, we need to first focus on what it is that we would like to do. Second, gain clarity and be very clear to ourselves. When we are clear to ourselves, then we can be clear to others. If we cannot even clarify in our own mind what it is that we want, then it creates real difficulty explaining to others what we want in our life, what we need. And then third one, accept that the universe at every moment, the universe provides for us that which we truly need, that which is for our highest, greatest good. And that is not, although it's not always what we want, it is something that we truly need. It is something that we did want before we came here, but we forgot. Okay? So those are the 3 points right now that I wanted to address. And then they're just as important to me as they're to you, because obviously when I put out that invitation to send me the questions that I will answer, I myself was not clear enough what kind of questions and how they have to be formulated. So that's a lesson for me too. Um, first, first maybe have a topic that we will cover, and second, then give very clear directions about how I would like to receive the inquiries from you, and also be clear about how I am going to share with you. So this part is hopefully was helpful. I would love to hear back from you. If you have any further questions, please feel free connecting with me and sending me any info that you would like to know. Please feel free to do so. Now we will move on to questions, and I will only mention your first names because although you have written to me in on my page, I'm not sure you want your full names mentioned here. So I will do my best. Hopefully you will remember who you are and what questions you asked, but I will also tag your names under the video when I post it on my Facebook page, okay? So that way you know that your question was in there and you can hopefully remember what it is that you asked me. So I will ask the angels to provide us with the answers that are for our highest, greatest good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. So the first question is from Marie W. And Marie is asking, I would like to know the meaning of a relationship I'm in. So Marie, what I'm getting is that if the relationship was the correct relationship for you, you would not need to search for the meaning. The meaning of this relationship, and I'm not even sure, I'm picking up that this cannot even be called a relationship right now. It's interaction with somebody. And the reason that person came into your life is to reflect to you how far you have grown and the areas that you need to grow in further. So what I'm receiving is that there is still a lot of growth that needs to happen for you in the area of self-love. Your relationship that you attract into your life reflect the need for approval from the outside. And that is something that is like that. When we seek that, we will never win because we cannot please everyone. So to attract a healthy relationship into our life, first we need to approve of ourselves. We need to have our own self-love. We need to have our own identify our own self-worth and self-value. And to have a healthy relationship, we actually need to get to the point where we feel like we don't need a relationship in our life at all. Like the moment you feel like you don't need another person in your life to complete you, that's when you're ready to have something healthy in your life. So what it is right now is a test run. This person that has shown up in your life right now is still showing you your trigger points and is still reflecting to you your self-worth and self-value, because whatever it is they are doing and how they're treating you right now and interacting with you in that relationship is showing you the areas where you still have to grow in terms of loving yourself. Is this a serious and final relationship? No, I'm sorry to say that. This is not the right person for you right now. Do you have to immediately drop this person? No, because there is a lesson that you have chosen to take out of it, and so you one of the biggest lessons that you have to learn right now is listen to your gut, because if you're asking somebody else to give you that advice, whether you should stay in a relationship or not, whether it does have a meaning or not, to me that says that you have been already saying things to yourself, but you need somebody else to confirm them for you. So you're not yet at the level where you trust yourself enough to listen to what your gut is telling you. So that's the area where you would want to do some work around. Sorry, I'm just moving my microphone. The area of listening to your gut and trusting it. And I think in in my very first video, I have covered um, intuition. No, that's probably the one that didn't record. So I'll mention it again right now. Um, we have gotten disconnected from our own voice, our intuition. We forgot how to listen to our inner voice, but it's always talking to us. So for us to awaken and become healthier, we need to first um, recognize that there is a voice inside of us. There is intuition that's there, and we need to start listening to it. The second is we need to start believing what it tells us. The third one is we need to start accepting that what it tells us is for our highest, greatest good. And the fourth one, and the last step, is we need to follow through on what it tells us. And this is often very difficult for most people to do. That's the part that most people fail at. Um, Actually, most people probably stop at the second step and never really get to accepting and following through steps. So the angels are saying, listen to your gut. And when you feel that this relationship has run its course and it's time to move on, and you're not being treated the way you would like to be treated, then stop talking yourself into why you need to stay and just follow through with what your intuition is telling you. I hope this was helpful, and please let me know um, if that answered your question. Okay. The second question is from Janice B. And Janice is asking, I would like to know what is going to happen in my life's financial future. I would like to know if I'm going to be able to be self-supporting financially again in the next little while. So once again, there is two questions here. And although they're both related to finances, they are separate questions. So the financial future obviously is a very wide question. Like you can have different financial status and different financial situation throughout your life at different levels, at different points in your life. But I have a feeling that you were more concerned around being self-supporting financially. And so what I'm getting from the angels is that you have been holding yourself in fear and you have been afraid to move on doing what you're supposed to be doing. You are supposed to be doing something that that involves um, doing your own thing. Like you are supposed to be running your own business. You're supposed to be doing what it is you're passionate to do. But and I have a feeling you've been trying to push it forward, but have been not succeeding few times. So the reason that that has been happening that way is because, first of all, you're still holding yourself in fear in terms of not succeeding financially and not getting what you want. So instead of focusing on, I just love doing this and I'm feeling so wonderful and great, and because I'm feeling so great, I'm sharing this love and sending these positive vibrations, and all these wonderful, amazing clients will see the work that is infused with my love and come and want more of it. You are worried about, will what I'm doing bring me money? Will I be able to support myself? Am I making the right choice? So you're operating from a place of fear. As long as you're operating from that place, it doesn't matter what you do, whether you work for yourself or you work for somebody else, you will not be able to attract abundance because you are holding yourself in a place of poverty, and you are second guessing yourself and you're doubting yourself. So the answer to your question is yes, you will be able to support yourself financially again. You just need to have patience. Don't try to control it. Don't put a time frame on it that by so and so I should see these results. You need to focus just on doing what you love to do. Um, and I'm also receiving that although while there's nothing wrong in getting some part-time jobs while you're trying to set your business up, because obviously you all need to live. Um, it is very important not to be very clear to yourself what it is that you're doing, that this part-time job is not a priority. Paying the bills is not a priority. This is just a means of getting what you need to get while you're building your business. Because what the mistakes that we often make is that we say that we will just get this part-time job until we get on our feet, but then we never get on our feet because we are now diluting our energy, not putting it into what we really need to put it into. We take on more and more from our part-time job because this is security in our mind, right? So we take on more and more, and then we are too tired or too exhausted to really focus on what we need to do, and then we start not believing in ourselves, and then we get drained and frustrated, and we give up altogether, and then we get depressed, and then eventually we lose the job that we took on as a part-time job that we were never meant to be afraid to lose, but became very scared of losing it because that became our primary source of income. So it's like a loop that we are going through. So what I'm receiving, the message I'm receiving, if you absolutely have to get a part-time job, do it. But it would be best if you could just put your 100% into building your business with the focus not on whether the money will come, but on just like sharing and talking about what you love to do and showing people your work, and just be so excited and be so passionate that people will get infected just listening to you. They will want to see your work. They will want to come to you and get some of that wonderful feeling that you put into your work. Okay? So I hope that answered your question. Um, and if not, then you know how to reach me after there will be a little um, blurb under the YouTube video, and it says my Facebook page address for everyone, and you can always connect with me there. And Janice, you know how to connect with me, so please do so. All right, Jessica R. And Jessica is writing, Milana, I think you are such a beautiful, caring, generous soul to show so much of yourself to others on your own birthday. I'm so happy to have you in my life. You are loved and you are loved. Hugs and kisses. That's wonderful, Jessica. Thank you very much. And the feeling is absolutely mutual. But this is not a question about you. And I will tell you a little secret. Um, I love sharing and giving because it makes me feel good. So there is a selfish aspect to it too. When I make others feel good, it makes me feel good because when you put out that wonderful, positive, higher vibrational energy into the universe, it multiplies and grows and it comes back to you. So it not only heals the people that you are um, helping, it comes back and heals you as well. So um, of course, there needs to be a limit of how much you give to yourself, of yourself to others. We should always be aware of our own boundaries. But you know, doing things, if they truly move you and you really feel compelled to do that, and you feel love while you're doing it, always makes you, the giver, feel good as well. And so, just having said that, what I'm receiving here, a message for you is in terms of boundaries. You are a very loving, caring, giving person yourself, and you do way too much for everyone else, but you have forgotten how to love and take care of yourself. So it is very, very, very important for you to reclaim your voice in terms of how to say no to people and not feel guilty. um, it is very important for you to have me time. You really need to start doing things for yourself. You really need to stop cramming way too many things into your schedule. And actually, you need to occasionally completely disconnect and go off the grid so nobody can find you, not even your family. You need, when you go for your Jessica time, unless the world is ending, nobody should be able to reach you. Okay, nothing should interfere with that. And what you need to do is actually schedule that me time into your schedule. Pick a day and pick several hours of that day and write it in big bold red letters that this is Jessica time. Make that block of time in your day timer, and nothing should go in there except things that Jessica loves to do. Maybe a massage, maybe you know, a walk in nature, maybe, I don't know, a drive in the country, whatever. I don't know what it is that makes you feel good. You have to discover that yourself. But it has to be you time, only you. This is the complete disconnect from everyone else time and recharge your batteries. Okay, please, it's very important because I'm getting a message that if you don't do that soon, you might get, you know, drained and sick because you're already starting to run on low. Energy is very important for us, and if we get emotionally drained, we can start manifesting physical illnesses as well. So please make sure you build that into your life. And if you need to connect about this, please give me a shout, okay? And thank you for your lovely, lovely message here. All right, Janice A. Happy belated birthday, Milana. Thank you for this opportunity to ask a question. My question is, what is holding me back from healing all of my various health issues, including lots of pain and restoring my health to its natural state? Okay, so I have a feeling what I'm receiving here, Janice, is that you have a little bit of a similar um, situation that the callers before, I mean, the people who asked the question before have, is, and that is that you're holding yourself back from doing something that you truly want to do, something that will make you happy. And so there is some sort of a energetic drain that's happening in your life because you're putting your energy into something that either is not supposed to continue anymore, or um, doesn't align with your life purpose. Um, and also, there are certain things that you are holding on to emotionally that you have not allowed yourself to release. Um, so, what happens to us is that as we go through life and we go through specific situations and hurts and pains and experiences in our life, we keep when we keep saying to ourselves, I can't deal with this right now because I have to work, I have to take care of family, I have to raise my children, whatever. And so we keep suppressing things and suppressing things and suppressing things, and they just build up one on top of another. It's like a compounded injury. And all of those emotions and feelings are energy. If you don't release that energy, it starts turning on you inside of you. It needs to be released somehow. And so first we start having some sort of emotional and mental distresses. And then later in our life, we start having actual physical ailments based on the things that we are holding on to. And the reason we don't release them is because there is that fear of, like if I start, I will not be able to stop, or I can't deal with it right now, or it's not safe to do so, or I just don't want to face it, whatever reason, whatever excuse we give ourselves to not release what we have, is holding us back from actually feeling better. Because yes, it'll be very messy and unpleasant to go through the releasing, but the moment it's out of your system, you literally can take a breath of air. It's like some weight fell off you. And so um, sometimes what also prevents us from releasing is we think that we need to know what it is that we need to release. So if I knew a specific situation or a question that's coming up, then I could maybe release it. But that's not how it works. So the way it works is you're having a wonderful day, everything is going great, you are having, fun, you're driving, meeting your friend for lunch, you're having a great conversation, and suddenly you have this like a wave of emotion. You said some word, or you heard some sound, or you had a thought in your mind, and suddenly you are breaking down crying, and you have no idea where is this coming from. Well, this is the emotions that were supposed to be released, but we're not given an opportunity to do so. What they are doesn't matter. So you have a situation, you have a choice. You can wake up and say to yourself, I'm having a bad day, I feel like crying right now. um, why don't I cancel everything for today and allow myself to release whatever it is that I need to release, and have yourself a good cry day. Crying is a luxury that we don't use as often as we should in the first place. This is the best way of releasing tension, because tears, um, and energy that's stored up in us, uh, is electric energy, and tears are water. So tears will carry the electric energy out of our system and release it very quickly, but also allow us immediate release as well. So when something like this happens, when you feel like you're having a really bad day and you want to cry, then you can take the power into your own hands and say to yourself, there's nothing today that cannot be rescheduled for tomorrow. I will allow myself a day of crying, and I will allow whatever I'm holding on to that no longer serves me leave my body. And I don't need to know what it is. I just know that something is being released, and I am in gratitude because this is happening. Because I know that once the yuckiness leaves, ends, then there will be some joy that will enter into my life, and there will be some peace and some tranquility and some ability to breathe again that will follow it, right? So the more of that you allow to happen in your life, the healthier it is for you. And when you're doing it from a place of you wanting to do it, you are in power and in charge of allowing it to happen, then it is much healthier for you than holding on to it and then at some point um, getting really sick, because that's the universe saying you don't want to deal with it. I will deal with it for you, and creating a situation, a crisis for you to deal with that, with the releasing of the energy that no longer serves you. So if the universe takes charge of that, it'll be already in a form of some sort of ailment that will need some major treatment rather than little unpleasant days here and there. Okay, so in general, I have a feeling that your health is actually pretty good. And most of the things, what I'm picking up is migraines, and then something I'm feeling around here, around your chest, and also acid reflux just got into my mind. I don't know. Please let me know about that. Upset stomachs as well. So these are all stress-related symptoms. But I'm not picking up any serious illnesses right now. So you have the power right now to start shifting yourself into a happier place by allowing it to release some of that energy that no longer serves you. And with the energy, you are actually healing your body. With the release of that energy, you are taking it away from all the important organs in your life, in your body, and just letting it out so it could go back to earth and shift into, translate into positive energy itself. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful. That's Janice A. Okay, number 5, Kimberly B. I would like to know if I've chosen correctly in staying here over Scotland. Thank you. Yes, Kimberly. Although Scotland is wonderful and it's a beautiful place, um, and I think eventually you may live there for a little while. Right now, the timing is not right. And visiting a place is very different than living. There is always this nostalgic um, memories and, you know, things that we romanticize about. When we look at things through life, through eyes of a visitor, everything looks very different than if we have to live there. And so right now, I have a feeling that the culture there, although in some ways might be very calming and closer to your heart, um, would not be comfortable or productive for you right now. There are certain things that you still need to accomplish in your life that you can only do here, not there. So the timing was definitely wrong. And the other message that I'm getting is that you need to stop looking for a place to feel better and rather start looking for feeling better inside. Because if you don't work on whatever it is that makes you feel uncomfortable right now, then it really doesn't matter where you move. You will take that with you. And so you can change an environment, but the outcome will still remain the same. So perhaps that's the answer is that before you can actually move to Scotland, you need to do some growth and work on yourself. So when you do move there, it'll be because you're really happy and secure in your life, and this is the decision that you know will bring you more joy and happiness rather than moving there to solve your problems. Okay, hopefully that helps. Give me a shout and let me know um, how the answer worked for you. Tasha D. Thank you, Milana. Belated happy birthday. My question is, when will everything fall into place financially so we could buy a house? Again, a loaded question. Everything is a lot of things. So everything could be job related. Everything could be related to your own personal relationship within the family, um, your health. There could be like so many things that are falling into that category. But I will focus on financially and a house because that seems to be what's on your mind right now. And so what I'm getting from the angels is it's not the right time to buy a house right now. First of all, because the market is not right. Second of all, because you are not in a place to take on more responsibility. Having a house is not going to always make things better. Sometimes it creates more headache. It just means that you have to work more and worry more and spend more. And so a lot of people think that a house means security, but often it could be a trap. It could be a trap that could create extra financial difficulties and stress in the relationship, and could actually lead to dissolution of relationship or maybe loss of a house. So right now, the timing is not right. And what the angels are saying is that if there are financial um, problems right now, then looking into investing more is not a good thing. Right? It's not the right timing. Um, you need to start really focusing more right now. The areas of growth for you is your confidence and self-love, appreciation of what you have, clarity around what you don't want, and boundaries are another thing that's coming up for me right now. And yeah, and the one that is very important here is shifting from measuring your success by material things. So I'm sorry if this comes across rough, but the need to stop comparing yourself to others and judge your own success based on what others may or may not have in their life. So working on your joy and happiness right now, just the way you are, just the way things are in your life, and finding what makes you happy, reclaiming your joy and happiness, and eliminating things that are dragging you down and creating frustration and anxiety in your life is more important than having a house. Um, as long as there is roof over your head, uh, that should be okay for now. Having a house is a big dream, and we all have it. I mean, I would love to have a house too, but having a house is only good when you actually can enjoy the ownership of that house. Otherwise, it's not a benefit to your life or to you or to your lifestyle. So I guess what the angels want you to ask yourself and be very, very, very honest with yourself is, why do you want that house? What is the reason behind wanting a house? Is it truly because this is something you need right now? Or are there other things that are lower, come from a lower vibrational uh, feelings that drive you to want that house right now? Are you thinking that if you have a house that might somehow save your relationship, or um, give you some sort of security, or um, will create some sort of permanency in your life? Because if those are the things that you are looking at, then these are just that's not reality. It's not, none of those. Having a house will not solve none of any of those things. House is just four walls with a roof over your head. It does not create happiness, stability, or security in your life. It just protects you from the elements. That's all it is. Um, and there will always be a bigger, better, more beautiful, more expensive house that somebody else has somewhere else. So having a house again because you look at somebody else and say, that person started out where I am at the same time and doing the same things I am, and they're so much further ahead, and this is what they have, and I want to have that too, um, is also not the right reason to have a house. So I would really like to see you focus on your own personal happiness first and your own personal growth, and to gain the ability to release any kind of attachment to material things and to believe that gaining those material things somehow changes your happiness or your status. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and you know how to connect with me, Tasha. Okay, love you. Okay, Karen CT. Okay, Karen is writing, is it in my highest good to sell my house at this time? I don't feel right now is a good time to sell your house. If you were going to sell your house, I would look at probably, I'm getting the end of mid or end of summer. That's what just popped into my head. But I'm also getting that selling your house probably is not of benefit to you. Um, to begin with. So you need to really look at why it is that you're thinking that you need to sell your house. What is causing that stress in your life that you may need, that you are catching yourself thinking that you may need to sell your house. Um, if it is because of the financial situation, um, I would stop worrying about the house. That you know that will not solve it, but create even more anxiety and frustration, because what needs to happen is your focus needs to go back to feeling good and doing what you love to do, um, and realizing that it is not lack of demand for what you do that may be creating right now a little bit of stalemate. How do you say it? I guess like slow um, limbo kind of situation right now, but rather it's just that there have been a lot of everything has been asleep. The energy, the earth, the nature, everything has been asleep, and people have been really not in the mood to do anything beyond immediate necessities. So it was just the time frame. As everything is starting to wake up, so will your business, and so will like the flow of financial um, prosperity will come into your life. Um, but you do need to stop focusing on um, trying to solve things out of fear, looking at answers that are based out of from a place of lack of. So I guess I'm getting confusing you right now. Basically, no, it's not the right time to have to sell your house right now. There are things that I'm picking up that I may not necessarily be able to answer right now um, in this particular session, but uh, I have a feeling there is more than one thing that is creating that question for you. So if you want to talk further about that, we can always book a session and we can see what's coming up for you if you'd like. Okay. I hope that answered your question, and please connect with me if you have any further, if you need to clarify anything. All right, Carrie R is asking, I'm not sure what to ask. That's so cute, Carrie. Okay, so since you don't know what to ask, then I will ask the universe and the angels to let me know, to provide me with the information that is for your highest, greatest good. Okay? So what is it that you need to know right now that is for your highest, greatest good? And so what I'm getting is that I'm seeing a lot of busyness, busy, 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 running around, taking care of things, of a lot of things and people, and constantly on the go, and constantly putting on the happy face, and always being like very cheerful and happy, and high energy with everyone else. But um, there is something that is weighing you down that you are not addressing. And so all of that is actually means all that running around and being happy and surrounding yourself with people all the time is actually a way of resisting to have to address what you really need to do or what you want. There's something that needs to be dealt with. Um, there's something that has been sitting some inside your heart that um, is perhaps you're afraid to look at. But knowledge is not necessarily a scary thing. And if something is there, it's best to deal with it and release it. It doesn't matter how much you try to run from it, you will never be fast enough. You will never be able to run far enough from it. So, because it never really completely leaves, it's always with you, no matter where you go. So, um, the message, I guess, for you is you don't have to know what it is right now, but if there is moments where you just feel some sort of dissatisfaction or sadness or anxiety, something is telling you that you need to change certain things in your life, um, then um, listen at the same time when this is coming up to what your heart is telling you that you would really desire to do. And what it is that you want to do, because there's always a thought that comes with that we quickly dismiss, right? And somewhere on some level, we always know what it is that we need, but we just always talk ourselves out of it. So, two things. If you can't identify what it is on your own, um, we can always book a session and look at what's going on, and figure out what may be coming up for you. Um, or you can try to sort of listen to what your intuition is telling you in those moments when the sadness comes up. Don't think you're crazy. I mean, obviously, if something is coming up, then it's coming up because there is a reason. It doesn't have to be from now, from today, um, or even from this lifetime. Something is there that needs to be released. And so you want to be able to release it in a healthy way, but you also want to feel safe. Um, but the only way you can release it is if you let go of fear. And the second thing is that you need to really, really watch your how much of you give to everyone else. So one of the reasons why this may be coming up is because you're giving too much of your energy away, but not receiving um, equal exchange in return. So in the universe, everything needs to be equal. We need to receive as much as we give. So there needs to be some sort of equal exchange happening. And when we do too much, we drain ourselves and we start feeling that puts us in that negative. um, anxious kind of state, and might actually also lead us to feel emotional or even physically sick. So for me, I guess if I had to say one word for you, Carrie, boundaries. Boundaries are very important. Boundaries in terms of how much you give to others, how much you do for others, how much time, energy, um, care, affection, everything that you give to others that could also be directed to you, right? So if there are people in your life that you have been feeling that you give to them but you never receive something of equal exchange in return when you need it, then maybe it's time to look at those relationships. And there's two choices there that you have. You can either let go of those people from your life. They might have outlived their usefulness, or if you feel you cannot let go of these people or these relationships, then you can make a choice of how much or how little of yourself you want to continue giving. Okay? I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please do contact me. The next person is Linda S. Sorry. So Linda S. is asking, Milana, you're just so giving and lots of fun too. For a question, lots of changes coming. Moving closer to your area out of work and sure could use an income, helping out aging parents and with all my grandkids. The right partner for me would be pretty awesome too. How about you pick one to see which area is most prevalent at this time? What do you think? Okay, Linda. Yes, that's a handful of questions and all big questions too. So I think all of them are being trumped by one very important question, and that is how much you take on before you drain yourself. So there is so much going on. You are giving so much of yourself. You're giving yourself to your aging parents. You're giving yourself to your grandchildren. You're giving yourself to, there is a big move happening in your life. There is a right partner that needs to come in. Um, a lot of things um, that are shifting and moving right now. So stability and grounding are very important. Maybe start doing some grounding exercises, meditation. Um, I know you do drumming, so maybe um, do more of that if that helps to ground you. Um, Parents and grandchildren are wonderful, but the first priority needs to be you. So self-love and self-care are very important. And don't let guilt and obligation be the drive that pushes you um, to do to go beyond what's comfortable when interacting with your parents or with your grandkids. I know that you love both, but if you don't take care of yourself, then obviously you cannot take care of anyone else. So number one priority, it needs to be releasing guilt and just putting you first, So if you're having a day where you really need to relax, but you're being asked, can you look after your grandchildren for like an hour, or can you go and do some shopping for your grandparents or whatever? You can always say, not today. I'm sorry, I need me time, and let's arrange something else. So that's number one. Now, in terms of um, an income, uh, so one thing at a time. You're going to move. So if you're moving right now is not the the time to start looking for a job. You need to move in and settle first, and then the job might manifest itself. Stop worrying where the income will come from, and believe that the universe will provide. And if you truly believe from your heart, and you start living from not from fear of how am I going to make it, where the money is going to come from, and having all this anxiety at the end of the month, like how am I going to pay my bills, um, and and if you're able to shift from that into the place of um, the universe will provide. I don't need to know where it's going to come from. I just know everything will work out, and not just say it, but truly, truly start believing that. Then it will work out. Once you move, the job may present itself to you, and so it'll be the job that will be the right job for that time, closer to your home and more aligned with what you will be doing in that moment. Again, don't stress about when in the future. Right now, just do the best you can, and the best you can right now is just take care of yourself and be very, very aware of how much you spend and give on others. And by spend, I don't mean spend money. I mean spend your energy. Okay, the right partner right now is not the right time to have a right partner. There are way too many things in your life that are up in the air and very chaotic. The partner will not ground it for you, because if your grounding doesn't come from inside, then you will attract a partner that is just as chaotic, will actually bring more chaos into your life right now. um, the partner is not the answer to feeling better, right? To me, the partner would be like the cherry on top of the whipped cream. Once you have your ice cream and the whipped cream on top of it, then it's like bonus cherry, kind of, right? So first you need to get your ice cream and then put some whipped cream on it. And so, yeah, I hope this answered. So, like, I mean, to sum it all up, basically, uh, just focus on the moment, this present moment. In this moment, this is the best I can do. Check yourself. How am I feeling? What am I thinking? Um, what do I want? Um, this is the best that I can do, and I am grateful. And just try to be in that moment, um, loving, gentle, and kind to yourself, and trust the universe. Allow things to come into your life, and without trying to control them, and stop um, basing your actions from fear, and rather um, make your decisions from accepting and allowing. Boundaries are very important. Okay, so again, hopefully this answered your questions. If not, connect with me and we'll talk more about this. Two more questions to go, and my doggy doesn't want to let me do it. Mr. Magic, you need to wait. All right. So, Jeanette E. Um, okay, this is interesting, Jeanette. When I was printing this out, on screen there was just your question, but when it actually printed out, there was an extra part to it that printed. So maybe there is a message for you that you need to know, and it's from Copernicus. And the quote is, to know that we know what we know, and to know that we do not know what we do not know, that is true knowledge. So there you go. And so let's see what the question is. I'd like to take you up on your offer, if I'm not too late, Recently, I have had thoughts of putting my name forward for a full-time management position in a company that I'm currently a part-time rep for funsies. If this is a good step for me, my family, and our future, or is it just my ego talking and should stay the current cause? Okay, so you just answered your own question right there. It was for funsies, right? So yes, it's your ego, because, and you know it. That's why there is a quote: "To know that we know is to know whatever," right? But okay, you are good at what you do, and if you put in um, your name forward for the managerial position, you will most likely be accepted. Um, is it really something that you want? I don't think so, because that would mean more of your time and more of your energy directed to something that your passion is not truly there. I mean, that's your job and you like your job, but you also like to put your energy into something that you're truly passionate about. And full-time management position will not bring anything more into your life apart from status and knowledge that you're good enough. So to me, that's pure ego. Yes, you're just wanting to go there for ego, not because that's something that is your um, passion, or because that is your choice of career to fulfill. This is something that you just want to satisfy yourself, to know that you're good enough to do. And it's actually really, it's almost like you are doing it for fun, because you don't need, you're good enough, so you don't need to prove yourself. So it's almost like just creating confusion in your life just for the sake of having confusion. So what I would say to you is, like, if you truly want to go just to satisfy that need to know, go ahead, put it in. Is it the right thing for you? Probably not, because it's not going to help you advance to where you truly need to be. It'll probably just dilute your energy and slow you down a little bit, and put you a little bit behind in terms of um, what it is that you want to accomplish for yourself. Having a part-time job gives you that flexibility to do that, to grow what you truly want to grow. Um, Going into this full-time will take you away and will create unnecessary frustrations, because now you're more tired, you have less time, and if it's not so easy to just get up and leave part-time job, it's going to be twice as hard to abandon full-time job, and the demands on you are going to be much higher. So there is going to be some level of frustration and stress that will be adding to your life, that will change dynamics in other areas of your life. So to me, it just makes no sense. I'm sorry. But again, the choice is yours, and you're very welcome to do what you feel you need to do, because it is your experience and it's your lesson. So I hope that answered your question. And just remember to know that we know what we know, and to know that we do not know what we do not know. That is true knowledge. And try saying that 3 times fast, okay? I can't even say it 1 time. Alrighty. And finally, last question from Lisa AC. Will my business start making me money? Will I have to close my business? Will I get my money back that investors group took from me in the fees that we were never disclosed? So again, Lisa, there's 3 questions here. Will my business start making money? Yes, it, you know, it just takes a little bit of time, but as I said, things are starting to improve, and I think sometime by summer you'll get very busy. So you don't need to worry about that. No, you will not have to close your business. You will only have to close your business if you believe that you have to close your business. But what you do need to do is stop focusing, um, stop judging the success of your business on how many bookings you make right now. Because the success right now is not measured in money, but rather in the quality of work that you provide and the feedback that you get from other people. So right now it's the growing period for your business. There has been recently some change happening in your business as well, so that shifted the energy a little bit more. And so you need to let it, to give it a little bit of time to gain the momentum, but it's just around the corner. Once the weather starts improving, um, your business will start improving, but you need to stop focusing on whether it's going to make you money or not. That's not where um, the energy needs to come from, right? Focus on why you started that business in the first place, which is that is something that you absolutely love to do, and ask yourself, is it something that you would continue doing even if you weren't paid? And if the answer is yes, then yes, continue doing it and stop worrying about money. And the last question is, will I get back the money from investors group? No, forget that, because that was a lesson and that was your fee for learning that lesson, right? There was some very important knowledge that needed to, and some very important experience that you needed to get out of that interaction. Um, Worrying whether you, and thinking about it, whether you're going to get that money or not, is holding you in the past and holding you in a lower vibration of anger and frustration. And that could also be what's holding you from continuing your business and growing and moving forward. So let that go. Look at it as an investment rather than a loss. That was an investment in a specific lesson. Okay? And so move on. Um, you know they lied, you know that there was some sort of information that was not disclosed. That's it. You know, you don't need to know anymore. You don't need to know what it was, the information. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to continue putting energy into it and thinking about it, because that's taking away energy from what you truly need to do and keeping yourself in a place of pain. So it makes no sense. Now, will you ever gain the money back? Yes, but not from them. That was your pay forward kind of thing. You know, you put some money in to gain a lesson that will become beneficial at some point in your life. Hopefully, very soon, once your business is continuing to grow. Okay, so let that go, release that energy, and release any kind of ill will or ill feelings towards that. Any charge that you may still have towards these people, release it. Just send them on their way with your blessing and your gratitude for allowing you to grow in a specific area that you were still a little bit naive in. Okay, so I hope that helps. Um, that will be the end of our transmission today of this video. I hope you found this useful. I hope this helped in some way. I'm trying to learn how this whole video, live video streaming thing works, and I'm hoping at some point to have something regular, maybe have something once a month where people can actually call in and interact, and we can all have a nice um, monthly cafe where we can channel and um, talk, and you can ask questions, and I can maybe answer lots of them. So thank you very much. Take care. All the blessings, love and light to you all. And I want to remind you two things before we leave. Shine your light always. Just be who you are. And number one, remember, you are magnificent. Okay? Take care. Bye.